Hello, New Rochelle, and welcome to another edition of What Matters Most. We are taping at Trinity Elementary School, where everything you do matters. First, let's have some good news. Congratulations to New Rochelle High School senior Julia Ecker on being selected as valedictorian and senior Leah Shefferman as salutatorian. And congratulations to New Rochelle High School senior Momar Petrovic on being named a National Merit Scholarship finalist. I also want to say congratulations to New Rochelle High School social studies teacher Francisco Sandoval on being awarded the prestigious Susan J. Goldborg Memorial Teacher Award. You continue to inspire us. How about some fun facts, New Rochelle? Did you know that nearly 1,000 species of birds live in Panama? And did you know that the Ford unveiled its first Mustang on April 17, 1964, and it only cost $2,300? We have a special guest in studio today, and it's such a pleasure to welcome our own City Councilwoman, Martha Lopez. Martha, so great to have you here, and thank you for coming on our show.
Thank you so much for inviting me. And what matters most is to have events and tapings such as this one, where we learn so much about what is going on in the city.
Well, you know what matters a lot to me, and we're really appreciative, is our partnership between the school district and the city of New Rochelle. And when I came here, you welcomed me with open arms. You extended me as if, the key to the city, and I really have appreciated that. And it's really grown and blossomed. It is that partnership. It's a give and take that's really important. And so you've been in New Rochelle a long time. You live in our community. You love our community. I see you everywhere. Why does that matter so much?
Well, it just so happens that this coming June, I am going to be celebrating 50 years since I arrived to Westchester County.
That's
and
amazing.
Actually, my father came to the West End more than 50 years ago, close to 55. And so what mattered to him was to see his kids do well in the school district. I did not go to New Rochelle School District because we couldn't find an apartment here. So we rented an apartment in Mamaroneck, and that's where I went to school. But my heart was always in New Rochelle, so we came back to live here in New Rochelle and representing that area that is so dear to my heart, has been amazing. And as you mentioned, partnership really is very important. Why? Because we want our kids to succeed. And I know that you, with your leadership and the new superintendent who is coming, who's going to be, taking your place after July, right, have done so much to really connect with not only the government, but the not-for-profits, the community, the key holders that are there wanting to work with us. And that is why it matters so much that that we have that dialogue, that we learn from one another. And hearing about the fun facts, I didn't know that, about the Mustang costing $2,300, or the birds in comparison to Panama. But But really, what is going on as I visit different schools, I see how much goes on, right? For example, I mentioned to you something that is going on in the middle of June
At
at
Jefferson,
Jefferson.
right, right.
And
Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because that's a great example of what a partnership
right,
is.
right. A lady who works there as an assistant to the teachers, is teaching the kids about their culture and the folkloric, part of it. And she mentioned to us that the kids were excited, and we thought, oh my God, that is really so great to learn and appreciate
Right,
other cultures,
right.
right? And so, but they did not have their customs, their dresses. So a friend and I said, well, you know what? Why don't we try to help them? And but we didn't realize that we didn't have a lot of time. But you know what? Just showing you how much everyone cares. Everyone said, okay, call this person, call that person, we'll have the customs made, we'll send them, and they are in the mail. So we should get them by the end of the
Right.
week or next
That's
week. And I know that something else that is also happening at Jefferson is that the Changing Suburbs Institute with Manhattanville College has done so much for our school district as well. And so there is going to be a dialogue also of different not-for-profit representatives, government and the community to come together and see how we can help our kids succeed.
Right,
And
right.
Trinity is also, I mean, so every school is doing so much. The school that that where my kids would have gone, is Columbus School, and I also know that there is a lot going on there
Right.
as
Yeah.
well. So
These partnerships are absolutely key. And what I've always loved is when we get together, we don't get together at City Hall, in my office, your office. We get together out in the community. And you really introduced me to Union Avenue. I have eaten really well in places that maybe I wouldn't have tried or where I wouldn't have gone into. And every place we go, not only are people welcoming, but they talk about the school district. My children, I had children, my sister works in the schools. It's really a tight-knit and special community. And I think that is one of the things that really makes New Rochelle special, but also it connects all of us no matter where we live in the city. And I talk a lot about my vision, we are one New Rochelle. And I know you share that vision, and it's really important. Do you want to talk a little more about that as well?
yes, we are all one New Rochelle. We have actually New Rochelle is one of the most diverse cities.
And a rich history and tradition of diversity.
Absolutely, and we're close to 80,000 people, and to have a diversity that is connected, to come together, to learn from one another, makes us even better. And appreciating all of those cultures is something that is very important to me. And actually, I have spoken to you about a program that I'm putting together on We Are All One.
Right.
And how well do you know me?
That's right.
And,
That's exactly
and this
right.
is going to be from young students, 18 to 22, who really want to come and talk about our own identity and to learn from one another. Because it is very easy to say to a community, well, you don't know about me or you don't know about me. However, when we hear everyone's story, your story, my story, everyone's
That's
story
right.
means so much, right?
Right.
And
Yes, it does.
looking at the fruit that really is going to give us so much is going to be very, very important. And so by connecting and by learning from one another, we want to first go to we want to do a trip to Washington, D.C., and eventually in December, we would like to go abroad and have an opportunity to work with other not-for-profits,
Right.
In other countries.
Right,
And
yeah.
so,
I'll be
this
back
is
for that
something.
trip. I'll be back for that trip.
Absolutely.
But I think what you've talked about, and which is really what a lot of the theme of this is, it's about our stories, and it's about sharing our stories. We all have a unique story. I tell our students all the time, there's incredible gifts that are inside of you that are uniquely yours, that are your identity, and you own it. Be proud of it. Your story continues to evolve. But I think by telling stories, by sharing stories, it really connects us. It enables us to walk in each other's shoes, and that's what I think is the special part of, and that's coming here in New Rochelle. It's really coming. So I applaud your efforts. As I think about moving on and the legacy, I'm really proud of the connections that we've started to make. I'm really proud of opening up our neighborhoods, our communities, our schools to say we are one. We're partners. We can't do it by ourselves. And I just wanted to give you the last word about really where do you see things going here in New Rochelle for our extended community?
Well, I think that something that we have spoken about, which is working with, a not-for-profit national organization that can partner with us in connecting all of the resources that are available within the school to the parents, right? Because all of our parents want their kids to succeed.
Absolutely.
However, how do we help them to get there?
Right.
You had spoken about a vocational school that would be an in-house, and I think that is the greatest idea because there are so many kids that want to go in different, different things, different careers. And when I was speaking to the kids at Columbus School, for example, and they were telling me that their parents are in construction or, carpentry, etc. And I said, wow, that's really amazing. Do you know that they must be really great in math? And they're like, why? Well, to put a door or to install a window, that requires to measure to make sure that it's not going to be uneven.
Right.
So you're going to have to say, well, so much by so much, etc. And it's like, so they are good in math. It's very easy to say, yeah, construction. My son many times tells me, Mom, it's not as easy as you think. Well, can't we just put a door here? It's not that easy, right? You have to know math. You have to envision what is it that you want to do. And so that is why I feel that it is important to bring this organization to help us help parents envision how their kids can succeed.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely critical. And what you referred to when our budget was passed by voters this past spring, in there was the resources to go through a design process to consider creating a career technical vocation learning center right here in New Rochelle. I think it gets to that point you made that we have tremendous assets. We just have to find better ways to connect them. And our families, our parents, our guardians, our caregivers, they are our most important partners. And together, right, the assets we have in our community are really incredible. So, I thank you for constantly reminding us, you're our greatest cheerleader, but you put your talk with the walk. So,
no, I thank you so much. Thank you very much for everything that you have done and for everything that you keep on doing. And I hope that you will come back and not forget about us.
New Rochelle will always be in my heart. It has been home. So thank you. It's great.
Thank you.
Well, there we have it, New Rochelle, another great edition of What Matters Most. Thank you all for tuning in, and stay tuned for the next show.